Hey, it's Nightlight9. In this guide, we're going over rerolls. Not only how to do it, but more importantly, what to go for. Assuming you've already gotten through the first rolls and didn't like them, click the top right dots, go down to the bottom, find title screen, click that. That'll take you to the beginning. Click through that. On this next screen, you're going to go to the top right, three dots again, reset game data in the top middle, click that, click delete again. Yes, we're good. Okay, the game has been reset. So now we're back to the title screen and we can proceed as if we've never been here before. I included this next part in the video too because there is a lot of clicking that has to be done in the beginning, and that's probably what takes the longest to get through this tutorial. But coming up here, I do want to show that as soon as these first banners are over, there is one small thing you can do to kind of save yourself some time, and that's the control button. Control is skip, so you have to click once on the screen, and I'll show you here with the delay. You click once, when you're ready, it pops up, hit control. And if you do it fast enough, like here, you can just get it right off. So it's a way to save yourself a little bit of time, especially if you're re-rolling, multiple times. Next thing I would do is go here, claim your gifts, and this is the reason I wanted to create a new account, to see exactly what it is that you're getting here if you're starting up for the first time. So it gives you a couple 5-star weapons. Zweihander, not bad, it's a pretty good physical attack weapon to start out with. The other one it gives here is Apology in Hell for only Glens, and that's also a decent weapon. Okay, now we're going to get into the banner, and the purpose of this is to show how I'm going to set up my wish list. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this and a lot of good weapons, but to make it easy and short, I'm going to show you how I would do it. First, we're going to do leather gloves. We're doing this because of the physical attack decrease. Debuffing is very strong in this game, especially if you're using it to stay alive, because you can't clear content if you're dead. Along with that, we have physical. Now we're going for magical attack decrease, and that's Tiger Fangs here. So notice the magical attack decrease, we're going to take that. And then if we got both of those, we could debuff all types of attack that we need. Next, we'll go to Cloud. He's a good damage dealer. This particular weapon is strong, Mirsame. The physical attack I really like. The lightning damage is good. And then we'll go to Aerith to round everything out. So we need an AoE heal weapon. Fairy Tail is our #1 priority. Kiraga here is why we'd be going for this. This will also help us survive. And then last, we will go for Sun Umbrella. Now, the reason we're going for Sun Umbrella is it's also a debuffing weapon. Only this one is defense, both physical and magical. And if we have all those debuffs, it rounds us out so that we can stick in any type of DPS items on our team. So now that you know how to do the reroll, I want to go into what I would do if I was starting a new account. And for this, I've started a new account, and I felt that was necessary because I needed to see exactly what new players get. Now, this is going to depend on whether or not you want to spend your crystals summoning on this banner. And I would imagine that most people want to. But what I would do is this. I would go over to these ticket summons first, and I would summon the 5-star weapon guaranteed, see what I got. I would also summon these tickets down here. Now, I've moved myself over here because I will be coming back to the wish list in a moment, but for this purpose, I wanted to show that you start with 60 draw tickets. So I wouldn't just base whether or not to re-roll on your initial 10 pull, because you could get 4 weapons that you really don't care for, or you could get 1 weapon that you really want. And I would tend to go for 1 weapon that I really wanted over more weapons that I was like, I don't really know about. Okay. Now, the only downside of doing these draws now is that if you go here to details and odds and click odds, you can see exactly what weapons are offered in these free pulls. And you will notice that, like, for example, Tifa here, right? Her new gloves that are in the current banner, those are not listed here. They usually will be listed in the future, but it usually takes a week or 2, maybe even a little bit longer after the banner is over before those weapons get added. So if you were really wanting to go for these Holy Flame gloves, obviously doing the draw tickets after the banner is over is also another way to get copies of them. However, they're still fighting for space among, the myriad other weapons that we have as far as 5 stars go. So it's up to you, but if it were me personally, I would be doing these 10 draw pulls immediately after doing this one here. And the reason is because if I thought I had an account that I would possibly like to keep, I want to do these pulls first so that then when I do the crystal pulls, I can make my wish list better. And here's what I mean by that. When we go into this wish list as I have it set up, again, this is what I would personally be going for. And in order of importance for me on this wish list, Fairy Tale would be the number 1 weapon I wanted. However, you could do with other healing weapons. The most important thing here, you want some sort of way to do an AoE heal. So all allies here on the heal, that's what we're looking for. And there are other people that have those. For example, Matt here, if we go to prime number, we can see here healing showers is also all allies and it's a heal. Another person that can do it is Tifa, Cloud, and I think there may be one more, but I really wouldn't invest into anybody personally other than Aerith or Matt to do my healing. Although Tifa is good at it and so is Cloud, or they can be anyway, I would rather have Cloud as a damage dealer and I'd rather have Tifa as a debuffer. And kind of the way this game works, it's hard to fulfill multiple roles well at the same time. And so, although hybrid characters can be made, it's usually not what you're going to want for higher difficulty content as far as a main person. And the two main roles are damage dealer and healer, in my opinion. So, I would be looking for either prime number or I'd be looking for Fairy Tale here. And the thing is, though, you only need one 5-star copy of either of those to get started. It doesn't matter if you get Fairy Tale overboosted a lot, you get a lot of stars added to it. That's not really important for that particular weapon. And it's the same thing for this umbrella here. You don't need this to be higher than 5 stars. You can see here, if we go up to, this would be 6 stars, or what we call OB6, obviously things get better and the weapon gets stronger, but for what we need the weapon to do and for where you're going to be starting out, a 5-star copy of this is really all you need. So far, that's 2 weapons on my wish list that I think are really powerful, but I only need 1 copy of. And as I said, Fairy Tale would be my number 1 or prime number, just some sort of AoE heal. And my number 2 would be a tie between Tiger Fangs and Leather Gloves on Tifa. And again, although starring this weapon up makes it more powerful, we really only need a 5-star copy. That is going to be perfect for our account. So, once you get 1 copy of Tiger Fangs, you don't need any more. Leather Gloves, once you get 1 copy of this, you don't need any more. It works perfectly fine for what you need to do with it, with just 1 5-star copy. Back to why I would do those ticket pulls first, the free ones, before I did crystal pulls. The wish list here with crystal pulls is the only way that we can attempt to manipulate what 5-star weapons we get in the game, which makes it very important. But also, it requires crystals to do these pulls. Another very important thing to take into consideration because they're an extremely finite resource, especially if you're free to play or just a light spender. So we really want to maximize that wish list and get the things that we need the most. If you do those 60 pulls and you got 1 or possibly 2 of these items, I would then adjust the wish list and go for something different in those slots. And ideally, once I got both of these debuff weapons here for Tifa and the healing weapon for Aerith, I would start going for DPS items. And probably I would go elemental based. Now, if you're pulling on the current banner, Holy Flame Gloves is ice potency and it's also physical ice damage. So that can probably deal with your ice needs for now. So I probably wouldn't go into something like Edged Wings on Sephiroth just yet, although you can, especially if you really like Sephiroth. Then I would try to go into more damage dealer type items. One of those could be Maritime Sword for Cloud. Notice that it gives 400% physical water damage and boosts water potency. So then if you rolled Tifa's weapon, you would have the ice covered, and now we could start going for something like water. Also on this banner, though, is Lucia's weapon, Holiday Revolver. and that's going to cover earth and do earth magic damage. So with this banner, we can try to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone, and then we could start going for other elements like water. This is just the way that I would personally do it. You can obviously do it however you want, but I do think it's worth trying to use these draw tickets right away because you're trying to build up your power as soon as possible. Also, depending what weapons you pull and what you decide to ultimately keep may also influence which characters you decide to level up first. So you really do want to find out what you're going to get rather than leveling up a team and then you do these draws later after you kept your account, only to find that you got stuff for completely different characters. Because I think in the beginning, trying to focus on just 3 is going to be your main bet. So this is how I would do my rerolls if I were starting a new account today. If this video was helpful to you, subscribe to my channel for more content. I appreciate everybody's support, and as always, thanks for watching.